This evening, but on What's Brewing Today, rural fintech Navadhan has raised 111 crore rupees in a Series A funding round led by NAV Ventures, the venture capital arm of Nabard. The company has said that the funding will be used to fuel business growth and enhance its accent tech platform. It already has over 700 crore rupees of debt lines available from more than 25 banks or NBFCs onboarded on its platform, with whom Accent enables API integrations. The fintech NBFC has grown its presence in 700 PIN codes across 5 states so far and plans to go deeper in geographies and diversify its loan offerings. For more on this, joining me now is Nitin Agrawal, the founder of Navadhan. Nitin, thank you so much for taking time out and being here with us on Startup Street. You know, if you could start by talking to us about the latest 111 crore rupees that you've raised in the Series A funding and how it will be strategically allocated to enhance your accent tech platform as well as drive business growth.
Right. Thank you for having me. I think we have a very calibrated growth plan in terms of what we want to do with the money. We have actually, this is not the first fundraise, this is a Series A, and we've done a bunch of fundraisers earlier. Through this calibrated plan, we are building the Ascent Tech platform. And this platform is very critical to serve the rural small businesses. And through these rural small businesses, we end up then making working capital loans to them, getting the funding from banks and NBFCs, which operate on these platforms. So the plan is to continue to do this calibrated growth, both in terms of building the platform, adding more partners, going to newer geographies, going deeper in geographies, adding more loan variants, and continuing this journey.
All right. And you know, you claim to have grown about 12x in the last 3 years, right? While maintaining good asset quality. Are you seeing any signs of stress in rural MSME segments that you operate in? And how confident are you of continuing to grow at this pace as the size of the business grows?
Well, you know, this year has been particularly tough for overall retail lending space. We've also experienced troubles in our space. Luckily for Navadhan, we have rather been less worried about it because of 2 reasons. One is that we do very deep underwriting. We have only 15% approval rates. And this deep underwriting has helped us select the right kind of customers and serve the right kind of working capital needs. Secondly, as we built our Ascent Tech platform, we were very clear that serving the customer and being sensitive to the customers is going to be equally important. Hence, we have both people and tech on ground. Having customer fulfillment centers and officers on ground has also helped us maintain better portfolio qualities. And we hope, like you asked, as we grow, we should be able to maintain the traction both on the growth as well as on the portfolio qualities go forward.
Right. So hoping to maintain that. But, you know, you also have over 700 crore rupees of debt lines available from more than 25 banks, NBFCs onboarded on your platform, right? So how much of this has been disbursed and what are the loan dispersal targets for the coming year or so?
Well, so far we've done about 500 odd crores of disbursements, and we hope to maintain the traction on disbursements as well as we go forward. I think we've been rather blessed on the lenders side. We have almost 27 of them on the platform. I think amongst me and my 3 other co-founders, all of us come from financial services, NBFC and banking space. So all the relationships, and we have sensitivity towards knowing what these banks need. Well, the banks do want to serve the segment, and MSME is a priority both for the government and the banking space. But it's difficult to reach out the underbanked and the small MSMEs. That's where we have stepped in. Therefore, we have a strong belief that we will continue to get that benefit. Additionally, all our loans are also classified as priority sector loans. So that gives them an additional impetus. And then if you have an asset getting created for these NBFCs and banks, and you have a good portfolio quality, and these are priority sector classified, and there are reasonably decent margins, there is no reason why we should expect the banks not to continue to support us.
All right. So you expect that support to continue. But, you know, what are your expansion plans for the next 12 to 24 months, right? And how will you deepen your presence in existing geographies? Do you intend to continue focusing on the 5 states that you're currently in? Or are you also looking at moving into newer geographies?
Well, in the immediate priority, our focus is to move deeper in these 5 states. We are right now present only in 700 PIN codes. I think we'll first get to about 3,000 odd PIN codes within these 5 states. And as we move forward, we will then expand to more states. So we have a very calibrated growth plan in that sense in terms of which states, which year we want to enter. We'll probably go with that plan.
Right. And are there any plans for an IPO in the near future? And what milestones would you need to achieve before considering going public?
Well, IPO is a very critical milestone for Navadhan, and we are definitely building towards one. but that's definitely not a destination because we are building it for a 20-year story at least, if not less. Therefore, the idea is that IPO would be a critical milestone in this journey to both, becoming a more responsible and visible player in the market, as well as giving exit opportunities and liquidity to our existing investors. Uh, in terms of what prep we are doing, I think we have built our company with a thought that eventually we'll go for an IPO. Hence, we are a very compliance first, regulation first business. So the internal processes are built in such a way that it becomes a little bit of a glide path for us. Having said that, I think at a stage when we have substantial capital absorption capacity, say 1,000 crore or so, and we have stable metrics in terms of predictable metrics getting offered, we should go in for an IPO because, as you know it better than me, public market investors would like to see predictable metrics if they have to bite a bullet on an IPO.
All right. And, what do you make of the RBI's recently revised priority sector lending guidelines with the enhanced loan limits for various categories, including housing loans? They also broadened the criteria under which loans can be classified as renewable energy for PSL purposes, right? So do you see it giving a meaningful boost to the segments that you operate in?
Well, yes, I would say in general, yes, this would give a meaningful boost to overall economy and overall segment. Particularly for us, not as much because we are already a priority sector classified lender in the sense that we lend to MSMEs, which is a priority for both the government and RBI. So there are some other criteria in which we get classified as PSL, including weaker section exposures, exposure to women entrepreneurs. We also have about 4% of our portfolio in the renewable side. So multiple classifications already exist. This is going to be, in general, a more of an enabler for banking sector to expand the priority sector segment for them.
All right. And, if you could quickly answer this, are you considering foraying into any other segments besides MSME? What are the longer term plans for Navadhan?
Well, MSME itself is a very, very large space. And within MSMEs, we have chosen to be in the rural small businesses loans, which are rather on the informal market side. And as you know, as India's demographic changes are happening, the informal markets are getting more and more formalized. I think we want to play a role there. In terms of how we want to grow, I think we'll stick to our MSME space. We'll stick to the underbanked and the missing middle part of the MSME space. But within that, we want to continue to enhance both our geographical diversification and geographical outreach and the number of loan variants that we offer. So we are, in fact, multiplying our loan variants and our service offerings, but we'll stick to the segment.
All right, Nitin, thank you so much for outlining your plans there with Navadhan. But we're completely out of time on the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
And moving on the hot seat.